Thunder selected Cason Wallace from Kentucky. Locked On's NBA draft coverage is brought to you by Birddogs. Go to birddogs.com/lockedonnba, and they'll throw in a free custom Birddogs Yeti-style tumbler with every order. Now, you won't want to take off your Birddogs. We promise you that. But with that, let's bring in our host of Locked On Thunder. That's Rylan Stiles. Rylan, the question of the night is trading up for Cason Wallace, not that he isn't a standout player, but why do you trade up for a guy that would probably be available a little bit down in the draft? Tell us why you think it was that the Thunder did this.
Well, the conventional thinking would say that he'd be available later on in the draft. Sources said that he was going to go top 10 no matter what, and the Thunder have been known to trade up to go get their guy, even if it's a little ambitious with the way the draft fell out. Last year, doing with Usman Jang, getting all the way up to 11 to go draft him. They obviously circle Cason Wallace as a guy that can really impact this team, especially defensively, and that's kind of their MO. They're going to be built on the defensive end of the floor. And so it's a interesting move. Sam Presti's been a draft day trade each year since 2019, and that streak now continues another year. So kind of status quo in OKC.
Okay, status quo. So how does he fit into this OKC roster?
You know, I think year one will be a bit of a learning curve. He'll have the ability to get mentored by Lou Dort and be able to, learn from one of the best defenders in the NBA, Dame Lillard. All these top scorers call Lou Dort one of the best defenders in the league. He gets mentored by him. Down the road, I think that this actually makes his mentor, Lou Dort, dispendable at some point because he's one of the only large contracts that you can put into a trade for a bigger player once you get down the line with this core and start to make an all-in move. So this could be some Lou Dort insurance here at number 10.
You mentioned his strengths on defense, but versatility, something a lot of people have talked about with Cason. How important will he be when it comes to shooting?
Especially as a guy who's going to plug into that second unit. And so whenever you look at his secondary unit with the Thunder, he's going to be tasked with scoring the ball and setting players up. And so he has to still remain in that point guard mold on the offensive end whenever, SGA and Josh Giddey are off the floor.
Now, tell us, what else does Oklahoma City need as the draft progresses and the offseason carries on?
The Thunder have an abundance of cap space. They have an abundance of picks. And so as we push down the draft board here tonight, and we maybe see some teams that have multiple later first-round picks, they could potentially get up in that range. But ultimately, now with the addition of Thaus Bertans and Cason Wallace, the roster is pretty full, and it seems as though the Thunder are comfortable with this group. So hopefully you might see some more fireworks, but ultimately they likely just pick at 50 and go on about their night.
All right, Rylan, we're going to let you go and get out of this weather. The Thunder is coming out. Am I right? For more on the Thunder, make sure you subscribe to the Locked On Thunder podcast, wherever you get your podcast. That is part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day, Rylan. We appreciate it.
Thank you.